Yeah, that was the cheapest way. I think I took, it used to have reflective tape, and when it fell off it was really rusty. So I put like a hockey tape, and I got plenty left over. Didn't even think about that because I'm not a hockey player, but I saw it looking for different kind of tapes that can entire. Even on my bicycle, the bars I have that are damaged or cracked or that I want to install, I have a lot of that tape left, and it's easier to notice. Cheaper, minimalist way, right? But you have to find out what exists, what's out there. Problem solved. Don't purchase right away. By the way, this is part 2 of how to measure HsD in your neighbors, but also in you, because you suffer from it too. So, hey, do you know how sometimes, okay, let's say some of you have started doing something and you're excited about it and you think you're changing the world. Like, let's say you make your own beer, although that's a pretty sad way to think you're saving the world. Because, things are so expensive. Plus, I don't have to go to the store every day to buy beer. Whatever it is that makes you think you're the world's saviors is, do you remember when you have conversations with people and you kind of say how easy it is because you guys are doing it now? And other people kind of have responses like, they're not ready for that yet, or to learn something new, even though they drink beer. I don't, but anyways, so they kind of give you a silly response and you kind of judge them for it. Well, guess what it's like for me and you, 99.91% of you. It's pretty much the same for pretty much everything. So that's an example. So how many of you can say, hey, yeah, no, I grow my own this now, and it's not that hard, and my neighbors have balconies too, and I'm ready to teach them for free in a fun course where I'll supply the food, and they don't show up. So what does that mean? Well, it could be HsD, right? Now, do you know that your neighbors have probably done something like this with you or your friends or your family, and you gave the same kind of dumbass answer to, for things that really is still so much less than what your brains are capable of. Your brains are capable of so much more, and yet you destroy them yourself. Like, let's say using technology or just saying no to opportunities to be lifelong learners about different things and to have more skill sets. So if you hate the money system, well then, bartering is a great replacement. Except bartering means you have to get out of your intellectual laziness and learn new skills, because that's how you're rich. Human thinking tools and different skill sets, whether jack of all trades, or polymath like me in the social sciences. That means interacting with people, different kind of skill sets, life skills coach, counseling, things like that, right? Evaluating for mental health and empowering the person to be able to fix it themselves by minimizing their dependence on medicines, for example. These are some of my skill sets, and therefore, if I ever found a human society that was capable of bartering, I'd be like, anything, and I'd be changing it up. I wouldn't want to stick in the easiest skill sets that I have to give, and I'd want to learn some of the others, and we don't charge each other, and then you get richer and richer. But that means starting to say, hey, why do we have such higher functions and we choose not to use them? Well, it's HsD. But fight it by being aware of HsD, knowing what it looks like, measuring it, and challenging yourselves as groups together. Because if I host life skills lessons, for example, and we learn a new skill, how to interact with people, let's say to minimize conflict, I will ask, can everybody here agree that at least if it is with one of you that took this training at the same time, you will apply this skill? Can you all agree? And you can call each other on it, because accountability is a big part of life skills coach training. If done right, then you will succeed. So supportiveness helps make it easier and more fun, and keep these skill sets growing and not losing them. Because to be honest with you, all the people I knew from counseling skills training and life skills training, none of them that I know of that I've stayed in touch with have retained these skills. We don't live in a society where you get a diploma and it becomes easier and easier to gain this diploma that was harder before, the same one. But still, people that learn less still lose it. And that's because we don't value this. We value our intellectual laziness and the path of least resistance, and that means you. So challenge yourselves. How do you measure this? Say, hey, I know this, I'd like to teach it to you. You know this, I'd like you to teach it to me. And organize for these. And if you want, drink a little bit of beer at the same time.